How are you today? I just would like to ask how many people or individuals have drove to get here today? Okay. Well, driving is a privilege, and unfortunately, there are individuals who take this lightly. So, a survey from AT&T's It Can Wait campaign against distracted driving found that 2,000 drivers, 4 in 10, use social media, 1 in 10 video chatted, all behind driving a car on the roadways. Surprisingly. Wow. Eating, drinking, reading GPS on handheld phones, applying makeup, drinking, eating, combing your hair, fiddling with the radio, having conversations with passengers can be distractive to the driver. Now, I'm not saying that you're supposed to not conversate with your passengers, but just keep your conversations to a minimum so you can focus on the road. Now, 80% of ages 16 to 24 texting and driving at the same time. And 85% of the time, it's a problem. And 77% says that they're confident that they can do that while driving. Dr. Michael West from St. Mary's Medical Center in Florida has stated that injuries of traumas are increasing due to distracted driving accidents. And they are most likely to be killed by a distracted driver than a drunken driver. Now that's very surprising. Over the years, states have put an effort to reduce motor vehicle fatalities by restrictions of drinking and driving, implanting graduated driver's license programs, mandating seatbelts to be worn from all occupants within the car, and the rating system for distracted driving would be audio distracted, would be mild, in a category of mild. Handheld talking on cell phones would be in a category of moderate risk for accidents. Voice activated devices is at a high risk for auto accidents of distracted driving. Now, the overall picture revealed that in the year 2013, there were 3,154 individuals that were killed. Out of that number, only 2,314 were teenagers, ages of 15 to 19, that were killed also. Now, each state in the United States has its own driving laws. And currently, only 46 of those states ban texting for all drivers. Only 14 states prohibited drivers of all ages using handheld devices while driving. Yet there is practically no enforcement to this violation. Maybe because the drivers, they try to hide the cell phones, in their lap while, they're in the car so they won't get a ticket. And so that makes the law enforcement harder to establish if they are using their phones while they're behind the wheel. Having researched that all motor vehicle laws are regarding distracted driving, there seems to be this distracted driving seems to come in as a secondary law. Now, what that means is that the drivers can only be cited if they're stopped for another offense like speeding or running a red light. Now, again, there are 3 types of distracted driving. There's visual, manual, and cognitive. According to the AAA tips to avoid distracted driving. There are tips such as tie down any loose gear in your car so it is stable while you're driving, and it won't, float around or, float around. It'll be stable. Make sure all the adjustments before you drive are taken care of, such as your mirror, your front view mirror, your side view mirror, your seat belts, your chair, adjustments, your steering wheel, things of that nature. Make sure all the children are in their proper seat belt or high chair hide or turn off your cell phone devices, and if you need to use your cell phone, just pull over the side of the road and use your cell phone. Eating and drinking, makeup, combing your hair, things of that nature, you need to do that before you even step out of the house. Okay, and if you have passengers, just tell them, you can conversate with them, but just keep it to a minimum. That's it. Don't have no emotional, heated arguments or whatever the case may be. And with distracted driving, again, this poses dangers beyond traffic violations, and it gives the areas of fatal accidents for you and other drivers. Excuse me. And secondly, any lawsuits from an accident can prove negligence, which can determine the outcome. Which, in regarding to Florida state, which is one of the states that does not have restrictions on restrictive driving. And so the county assistant district attorney, Art Jackman, has stated that cell phone use is one of the many possible negligent acts that can play a role in a prosecution of criminal traffic cases. Now, many times crashes have catastrophic injuries for all parties, such as brain injuries, death, physical scars, paralysis. Lives of individuals due to distracted driving for all parties will never be the same. Thank you.